Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Is it going to be absolutely riveting? Is it going to change your life by any stretch? Probably not, but it's going to be at least entertaining, okay?
By the way, for those people that are in the back, remember to shut the fuck up.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I've been dying to say that.
Cuzaroo.
Slapperoonie.
It's showtime. WATP.
WATP. WATP.
WAATP, hello and welcome to a special mini-sode of Who Are These Podcasts, the only show that predicted Aaron and April would get a divorce. I'm your host, Carl Hamburger. Welcome to this special mini-episode of WATP. Today I'm going to be covering the drama between Aaron and April, Stuttering John's latest NPD tell, Kevin Brennan's show is completely turning into Stuttering John's show, and maybe even a little bit of Lisa Boswell at the end, if I'm feeling it. Remind everyone, we are live in Las Vegas. We just added the biggest problem in the universe. Vinny Paulino and I were on the Dick Show that dropped today, doing a special scum parade. And so we're going to have Dick Masterson and Vito Gesualdi on Hackamania, hackamania.com, promo code WATP for 20% off your ticket price. It's May 31st through June 2nd in Las Vegas. We would love to see you there. Now, some people might have heard I called into Patrick Melton's show today, and he was going through all of the latest with Aaron talking about his divorce with April from Steel Toe. And I told him I had a different take on it than he did. I asked him to call in. Unfortunately, he just messaged me. He's not going to be able to make it in. So I'm going to hold that off on that. I'm going to start off talking about some things I've been observing with our buddy Stut Joe. Gakia. All right. Stuttering John has found a new way to brag that I thought he would never stoop to. I had no idea this is where we're at with Stuttering John now. And I have maybe some evidence that this is part of his narcissistic personality disorder, because this is fucking nuts.
But this is how these losers spin this shit on a regular basis. It doesn't matter what good I do. It doesn't. Doesn't matter how many lives I've saved 2 or 3 people from drowning alone. It doesn't matter, though.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry, I have to pause it already. It doesn't matter how many lives I've saved, 2 or 3 from drowning alone. So that's just a percentage of the lives you've saved, just those 2 or 3 drowning. You don't remember if it was 2 or 3? Maybe you had a busy day or something. How do you not know if it was 2 or 3? I've never saved someone from drowning. I've never in my life saved someone from drowning. If I did, I would know that I did that and I'd count it as 1. If I did it twice, I'd sure as shit know that and I'd count it as 2. Dare I say if I did it 3 times, I would remember all 3 incidents when I saved someone from drowning. To say 2 or 3, this is what Joe Biden did on the Howard Stern show. Oh, yeah, I save people's lives all the time. Half dozen, I don't know. And then another guy on Lake Ontario, I don't know. Something like that. That's insane. That you're lying. You're fucking lying. Also, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm checking out the chat today. Has John ever brought this up before? I watch a lot of Stuttering John stuff. I've seen him brag about everything. I've read his fucking book. I don't remember him ever talking about saving someone's life. He brags about telling that kid how to get over his stutter. Brags about that a lot. I would lead with these saving lives. That would make more sense. All right. Fudgicle says not once. I trust Fudgicle. He knows what the deal is. So now all of a sudden John has saved lives. And again, this goes back to you guys are acting like I put on this party just for me because I'm a narcissist. How could I be a narcissist when I'm saving people's lives? You guys are spinning everything negative, and I'm the one out there saving lives. All right.
Maybe I was saving them because I wanted to get in the paper. Maybe I Or maybe I didn't want the fucking guy to die because he had 2 kids he was going to leave behind.
Who? John, who did you save? The guy who had 2 kids. And that's a crazy calculation to make too. Someone's drowning in a pool or I don't know, maybe a lake. And your thought is, well, he's got 2 kids. All right, I'm going to save this one. What? He's lying. John, you're lying. And I love pausing it on your ridiculous face because you look terrible. Let's back it up a little bit. Sorry.
Maybe I didn't want the fucking guy to die because he had 2 kids he was going to leave behind. Now, you might not believe in altruism. I do.
I believe in altruism. I don't believe you saved anyone's life, John. That's the part I'm not believing. And that's an interesting deflection right there. I saved people's lives. I did it not because I wanted to get in the newspaper. I did it because this guy has 2 kids and, he wants to be around to help them grow up. Well, what do you not believe in altruism? Wait a second. You think that's wrong? What do you not believe in altruism? No, I don't believe that you saved anyone's life, John, because you've never talked about it before. All right. So I looked up this guy, Jay Reed, who's a psychotherapist, and he did a video about altruistic narcissism. There's another one. There's a new one I'm learning about. And I just have a clip on here that I thought would be worth sharing after that nonsense that we just heard from John.
Yeah, that's important. Okay, so the psychology of the narcissist always starts with their core sense of worthlessness. In the case of an altruistic narcissist, they combat that worthlessness with the antidote of, I am the greatest caregiver there is.
Okay, so let's keep this in mind. Narcissists, deep down, know they're worthless. And so they have to do everything in their being to make it seem like they're actually the opposite of that. Again, this is just Stuttering John to a T.
And so I've talked about grandiosity, and this is just a specific form of grandiosity. In essence, that I am the best at caring for others. And the second component...
And guitar.
To denying that worthlessness is the entitled expectation that others will reflect that back. And in this case, the recipients of the care and the onlookers of the altruistic narcissist must reflect back how sort of superiorly caregiving this kind of narcissist is.
See, this is where John struggles right here. John can't believe, with all of his amazing accomplishments and how great a person he is, he can't believe that anyone sees it any other way. He goes, I'm saving lives, and you guys are saying I put on an event just so I could sing The Doors in front of 40 people? Why would I even do that? I'm such an amazing person. I just wanted my friends on The Tonight Show to have a great Tuesday night, obviously.
And what I found is that if you're a recipient of the altruistic narcissist care, you need to show profound displays of gratitude. That it is incredible that this person could bestow such incredible kindness and generosity towards the person, because it's not necessarily true, but the person who's dealing with something like this know that nothing less than that will suffice. If that is not shown, it's likely that they're going to bear the brunt of the altruistic narcissist rage at their entitled sense of themselves not being reflected back.
And that's the difference between narcissism and altruism, is that John wants a fucking medal every goddamn time he does anything nice for anyone. He needs recognition. He needs to tell you about it over and over again. Donating to charity, getting a fucking free mini iPad that doesn't work and giving it to whoever. Who cares anymore? The story's so stupid. John raised $150 for someone going through chemo, and it doesn't even cover the parking at the hospital. He gets $150 and a used iPad and ships that off, which was also a pain in the ass, and never stops talking about it. That's not altruism, John. That's narcissism. That's the difference right there. All right, so speaking of narcissism, let's talk about me. This is John talking about something that he recognized on my show. So he's watching my show, and he sees that I showed a screenshot of the address book. John was having everyone write their addresses down in so he could send them off the keychains that FedEx fucked up, which that's another thing we have to talk about. And what I did is I made sure to blur out the actual address of the people. Did I have to do that? Probably not, but I did. I just figured, yeah, no one No one needs their address on the internet. But apparently I didn't do enough.
Thanks for the $2. Jackie would have fucked up the keychains. They're coming. I'll get them, and I'll mail them out.
So, all right, since you brought it up, I'll talk about this real quick. The keychains are still coming? I thought it was a FedEx issue. If FedEx fucks up, they'll fix it in less than 12 hours. 24 max. There's no fucking way this was a FedEx mishap, and a week later he's still going, yeah, we'll get those keychains eventually. Dude, I don't care if they were in China. You should have gotten them by now if they were actually created. They were not. You fucked up. You done fucked up, boy.
And by the way, Lady K doxed people. He thinks just by erasing the street number is okay. When he showed that book, it's not. You can't be doxing names and towns that they live in.
Really?
So I struck him. I reported him.
Oh,
You can't start fucking doing that.
You're a piece of shit.
I mean, you can't show innocent civilian people's names on a show and the cities in which they live in.
Are we in a war? Innocent civilian people? Are we in the mafia, Joe? What the fuck are you talking about? We can't do that to the civilians out there. Holy shit, he's stupid. So, John has no idea what doxing means. He still hasn't figured that out. He claims that he reported me to YouTube. YouTube hasn't done shit, so apparently I didn't do anything wrong, obviously. But reporting me proves what a piece of shit John is, because he can't compete with just goofing on each other, having some laughs, doing some reviews, some roast-style jokes. He wants my channel taken away. You're the Duke of the Dabbleverse. Why do you care if I have a channel or not? How does that change anything that you're doing, dummy? But no, you actually have to go and report me and try to get my channel taken down, because you say that me showing someone's name and the city they live in is doxing them. John, you're older than me. Do you remember the phone book? Remember that thing? It's crazy. There was this book. Everyone got it for free. And it had everyone's name, address, and phone number in it. Remember the movie The Jerk? That was the reason why Steve Martin's character was targeted. It was just randomly found in the phone book. It's because the person's address is in that. I decided to take it out just because I thought that'd probably be better than to just, but also I want to know, what does he think this is going to do? So he claims that this is doxing. I should be reported. What do you think the ramifications are going to be? As Patrick Melton would say, are they okay? Are the people whose names I showed on the YouTube, are they all right? Is everything all right? What the fuck are you talking about, John? Who gives a shit? No one's doing anything. John's the one who likes to run around doxing. He loves doxing my family, my wife, spelling my last name every chance that he gets, everything he could do to dox me. And then as soon as I show a notebook that has a name and city in it, he's reporting me to YouTube. What a piece of shit you are, John. Seriously. You're a scumbag. All right, so then a super chatter, dabbler from Detroit or something like that, Detroit dabbler, says, John, can you tune your guitar? There's no evidence you can tune your guitar. And so John is going to prove once and for all, this guy is a guitar tuning motherfucker.
Thanks for the $2. Yeah, can't even tune a guitar. $50 if you prove it. Where's my guitar?
It's a small place. I like the where's my guitar? This way or that way? Those are the only choices. It's not upstairs. It's not downstairs. It's not in the other room. It's either to your right or to your left. Okay. So, all right, let me explain what's happening right now. This is crazy. So yeah, John's doing the do killing time thing. Now, what he's doing is he's putting a tuner on the head of his guitar. Now, watch me. Watch how long this takes. Here's my guitar tuner. Here's the guitar head. Oh, there it is. Turn it on. Boom. Now you can start tuning your guitar. That's how easy it is. Look at how long John is struggling with just doing this. Why is this so difficult? If this was happening in the zoo, I wouldn't go to any other exhibit. This is all I would look at. Okay, so you got your tuner on now. All right. All right. So now he's going to go through and tune each string. Which I don't know why they're so out of tune. Okay, so the whole point of that is that we don't think you can tune by ear, John. You can't tune by ear. We know that because when you play guitars out of tune, it doesn't bother you. That's what's crazy about your musicianship. You can play an out of tune instrument and it bothers everyone else, but not you. So when the super chatter says you can't tune your guitar, he didn't mean put a tuner on it and turn the knobs until it lines up. He meant, can you tune your guitar by ear? And you can't. And now look at how smug this prick is as he strums a C major to a G major chord, the most basic guitar playing possible. What a smug prick. And it sounds like shit. That guitar sounds like garbage. You got to get new strings. You got to get a new guitar. He's so proud of himself here. Whoa! What was that chord? What was that chord? So either John's guitar can't keep tuned at all. It was supposed to sound like this. That's a D major chord, all right? I don't know if this is getting picked up by my microphone. Let's listen to what John sounded like just now. This is smug John proving he can tune a guitar. Oh! I don't know if the high E string is already out of tune or if he just doesn't know how to finger that chord.
All tuned.
Oh, John, that's not impressive at all. That's embarrassing. Keep fucking with him on the guitar tuning thing. Because after that, he explains he needs this $50 that he proved that he could tune a guitar, because that's what the deal was with the super chat.
Thank you. Where's the 50? Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. All tuned.
That's not what put your money where your mouth is means, John. You're so stupid. You are a dumb idiot. Put your money where your mouth is like means like to take action. Don't just talk about a problem. Fucking do something about it. That's what that means. Not pay up your bet. Then you would say something like pay up your bet. Not put your money where your mouth is, you fucking retard. And again, it had nothing to do with using a tuner. A child could use a tuner and tune a guitar. We don't think you can determine pitch. That's the issue that people are having with you. Oh, by the way, I just want to point out, John's hair looks like shit. Are you guys looking at John's hair? This dye job, it can't be done at a barbershop or a salon or a Supercuts. They wouldn't do this to you. This has to be homemade. It looks like he put on a Lego person's hair. And so people are pointing that out to him.
Nice hair, Sharpie head. Oh my God, you look disgusting. Dude, Kelly, just one piece of advice. When you're doing this Wayfair commercials, don't wear a purple fucking outfit, a purple dress. You look like fucking Barney.
So the super chatter, whose name is Kelly Clarkson, is beautiful and has an avatar that is Kelly Clarkson. And John's response is, hey, Kelly Clarkson, you're fat. John, that's not Kelly Clarkson. And this happens again later in the episode too, where this person is fucking with John. Hey, John, your hair looks like shit. Oh, yeah? Well, you're fat. I'm not Kelly Clarkson. Your hair still looks like shit. That's what's really going on, dummy. But it's a deflection. He knows his hair looks like shit. He'd rather talk about anything else. I guess there weren't any misspellings. Or, well, there is. He could have gone that route. He loves doing that. All right, so, you know what? Since we're talking about how shitty John looks, I'm turning into the Uncle Rico show right now. The beginning of his show, he's never prepared when the show starts. Never prepared.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Yeah, so adjust his camera. Look at his shirt.
How you doing?
Look at how wrinkled
How you doing?
his shirt is.
From Joe Walsh.
It's wrinkled everywhere. Does he not own a dresser? All right, new thing. I know John's like, hey, $200, I'll show you what my apartment looks like. How about $200? Show us your dresser, John. Prove you have I don't think you have a dresser. I don't think you own one. 58-year-old man. Don't have a dresser. You have your clothes piled up next to your bed. Maybe on your bed. All right. So John has what's his nuts on there, Clay Dabbler or something. And they're goofing on me. So this is John's I guess he's getting some serious research about me in from other people. John doesn't know how to do this type of research, but he's finding out some dirt. And John's been saying this since he came back to the Dabbleverse. We're closing in on a year now. John was, before he did that, he's tweeting out, I'm getting dirt on Lady K and the shitwire and Barbara Levy. And I'm going to have all this information. Just you wait. I'm taking everyone down with all this dirt I'm going to get. And I remember long phone calls with Shuley, like, oh shit, what do you think he found out? Oh my God, what's going to happen? Should we just quit now? We were terrified by this. This is the kind of information. A year later, John's finally dug up on me.
And Lady K doesn't have that much money either. I mean, and that's a fact. He pretends to. He bought his house in shithole, the armpit of New York, Rochester, for $200,000. You think? And he hasn't even fucking paid off the mortgage yet. Trust me, he's not doing that well.
He gives us such strong cuck vibes. It's unreal. He's the type of guy that would watch me fuck his wife from the cupboard.
Yes.
And that definitely. He'd probably pay me a few quid to do it.
Good stuff, Clay Dabbler. Roasting people is not for everyone, Clay. I'll just say that, but good stuff. So I don't know what kind of creepy research John is doing on me. I've lived in this house for 11 years, and I don't have the mortgage paid off yet. Seems pretty typical, right? Got a 30-year mortgage, haven't paid it off in 11 years. I'm still paying a mortgage on this. I don't know what the point is in that. I did take a bunch of money and invest it in a second home in Cape Coral. So I'm paying a mortgage on that as well, John. You got me again. Oh, no. Do I run around bragging about how much money I have? I'm the only guy who doesn't talk about fucking money. The stupid Dabbleverse. Not the only one, but between KB and Stuttering John and Chad Zumach, all these assholes are nonstop talking about money and counting money and who's making the money. I don't give a fuck. If someone super chats John, that doesn't affect me in any single way. Well, the only way it might affect me is if it's a funny question, like, do you know how to tune a guitar? And then we can prove that John doesn't know how to tune a guitar. That's the time that it's fun. So, Pollution Late 7425. Oh, before I do that, there's a fantastic video I wanted to play for you guys, but I'll end the John segment with that. Let's talk about John suing again, because I teased that in the description of the show today. So John posted this. So this is a tweet from over the weekend. I seriously am calling my lawyer about the false allegations made by Rocco Burrow, Carl Heberger, and the Shit Network. You can't just accuse someone of committing a crime with no actual proof. It can damage my reputation. Couple things here. First off, I seriously am calling my lawyer. I seriously am. This time I'm not lying. John, you're bluffing again. This never works. It's never worked once. Never once has someone said, I'll stop talking about you then, John. My bad. We've proven that you're a liar, that you've got nothing. And the whole thing that we proved, I mean, to say that there's no actual proof, John admitted he was smoking a vape. John admitted he drank a bucket of beers, and he keeps doing the math on it. So the whole thing is about him driving drunk after the party. There's a video of him getting in a car. Tukey played it. Video of him getting in a car, driving away from the bar after the party. John says, well, I only had 5 or 6 beers, and it was over 5 hours. So he's already off on that. He also didn't know how many beers were in a bucket of beer. I only had a bucket of beers, and I shared one. He's making up all these excuses as he goes. So John's a liar. John's not suing anyone. No one's afraid of you. You got to stop it with this bullshit. It doesn't intimidate anyone. It's never worked once. This is the definition of insanity. This has never worked one time for John, that he threatens us and we get scared and go away. So then this fucking idiot goes on his show yesterday and he explains that he's actually suing another guy. So crazy that he's going to talk to his lawyer seriously about me and Tukey and Shuley. But then it turns out someone else did something even worse to John.
Hey, everybody. Oh, Jesus.
He's never ready. Never ready to start his show.
Green screen.
Just look at yourself before you...
Sorry.
Fucking idiots.
Listen. I know.
What do you know, John?
That a certain person whose name I won't mention.
He's talking about Vince the Lawyer.
Did a show this morning, falsely alleging stuff and saying things, putting a beeping horn. And again, trying to lie about my condition and everything. But
so let me explain what he's talking about here in case people haven't seen this. So I've talked about this for a while. Vince the Lawyer, if you enjoy his style of content, it maybe you enjoy is it satirical? I don't know what he's going for, honestly. I don't find it all that amusing or entertaining, but he manipulates the videos that he plays. So he loves to show these videos, and then John watches them and thinks they're real, and these things really happen. And then when he sees a video with him in it, and he puts in these sound effects that John's driving into a car, and the car had to lay on its horn, because as John's leaving the parking lot, it looks like he might be in the wrong lane. He's driving towards oncoming traffic. So Vince put in this overlay of the sound effect, the guy's laying on the horn, and John goes, "Oh, now I can sue you." But John, this is where you get all your research about me from. So just FYI, and you can't sue him for that. Just FYI on that too.
Here's the deal. My lawyer has advised me to not mention this person's name, to not talk about anything.
All right. For the first time ever, I almost think John might have talked to an actual attorney, because that is what they would tell you. That's specifically the first thing they would say. Like, all right, let's look into it. Don't talk about it. Don't bring anything up. You're just going to fuck it up. So don't talk about it.
And when it comes to this person, because we are involved in something serious. And I know you all think, oh, John's always suing people. Well, I sued.
No, we don't think that. We think you're always threatening to sue people. No one thinks you're always suing people.
Sharon Stone, and I won.
You didn't. You did not, John. They settled out of court. Sharon Stone's bodyguard physically assaulted you. You actually had hospital bills. They settled out of court. That's not winning. That's not winning a lawsuit.
I sued Sirius, and I lost. But George Carlin's family won for the exact same thing, right?
No! You fucking idiot!
Publicity.
It's not the exact same thing. Just because you sued for right publicity and George Carlin's family sued for right publicity, it's not the exact same thing. He acts like I should have won. George Carlin's family won. No. First off, they also settled out of court, the George Carlin thing. You lost in court with prejudice. They're like, don't even try this again. This is a horrible lawsuit. George Carlin's case, as people probably know, is there was this AI of George Carlin doing stand-up that's supposed to sound like George, supposed to be his material from beyond the grave. And the family said, no, this is fucked up. This is not George Carlin. I don't want anyone hearing this and thinking that George Carlin had anything to do with this. We own his likeness. You do not. You cannot do this. John sued because they would play reruns of him on the Howard Stern show that were actually him. And he sued for right to publicity. Very fucking different. Extremely different. So to act like, yeah, I lost because, I don't know, Michael Popak sucked or something. No, you had a terrible case. You never should have brought it.
This one is not nearly as difficult to prove as the SiriusXM. So I'm not going to mention this person's name.
So John is claiming this lawsuit against Vince the Lawyer is going to be very easy to prove. What are the damages, John? What happened to you? It harmed my reputation. You get drunk on the internet every day. No one can harm your reputation anymore. You're the Lenny Dykstra of podcasting. No one's harming your reputation, you idiot. Ugh, he's so fucking annoying. Okay, so let's get on with the Pollution Late 7425 in Dabblers Anonymous in the subreddit. Put together this fantastic video, a look inside the narcissist brain. I just realized I don't have that pulled up as I thought I did. Son of a bitch. I'm doing something that I'm going to make fun of Kevin Brennan for doing in just a moment. But all right, here we go.
It's just unbelievable how they fucking...
The Duke of the Dabbleverse.
John's fantasizing about me or Melton.
I'm one man who's a school teacher, change kids' lives for the better.
Now look how happy he is. He gets to go into the sex world now with sex questions.
Received a myriad of cards.
Look at this fucking dummy. This drooling, fucking inept, low IQ, horrible father, douchebag.
I didn't choose this fight. It was brought to me. I'm one man.
Stuttering John, a man 100 pounds less than heavy, silenced heavy. He's holding the belt and screaming.
See how I fucking undress you, Kev? Undress you! I promise you this. You ain't gonna see. You're gonna get fucked. Oh, sorry. I fell asleep watching Space Jam 2.
Absolutely brilliant. Hats off to you. Pollution Late 74. 20 get into KB in just a moment. But first, we got to read your...
Yay, super chats.
And by the way, thank you for the over 1,800 people who are watching live right now. I really appreciate that. We'll put this out on our main feed. I'll probably clean up the super chat parts. And anyone who listens to the podcast, we are an audio podcast. If anyone still listens to audio podcasts and you subscribe wherever you get your fine podcasts from, you get 2 episodes every week, or like this week, 3 episodes. Kyle Lakey, $10, says, outside doing yard work, is this episode safe to play over the speakers? When Shuli drops I Swallow Cum, it's not a good look as the neighbor girls play outside. Yeah, I know. There's a few things that you don't really want to have this playing as you're going about your day. A queef in the night, $2. Send April the link. Yeah. Unlike Chad Zumach, I'm not looking to be friends with April. Mason in Portland gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Mason in Portland. I believe I'll be seeing you in a couple weeks at Hackamania. Barnes and Noobs, another great content creator on the subreddit. Anybody needing some perspective on how thin-skinned SJ is, but was butthurt because chatters told him he wasn't the originator of making musical fart noises from his hands. Get over yourself, dummy. He's insane. Addicted to super chats. Good ag, $5. Good promo on Melton Show. Love the WAT verse. Thank you very much. I was riding my bike today. I was KBing all over the city and listening to Patrick Melton go on and on about Aaron and his divorce with April for a couple of hours. And I had all these ideas of what he's getting wrong, what he's getting right. And I decided I need to call in, and I would have gotten into it with him then, but I was hoping to get him on here now. Grateful Dad, 4916, $5. The 1-800-DABBLE call to Caterer had me crying, man. Stuttering, Sex Pest, and these other creators continue to help the Dabbleverse stay fresh. Totally agree. I don't give enough props to Stuttering Sex Pest. What he's done, if you go to his YouTube channel, you can go back and find all of the segments we've done on Stuttering John since 2018. He has it all broken down chronologically. You can go back if you need to get caught up on what's going on with John and what's happened over the years. It's all there. It's a crazy journey. I'm actually going to start doing on our Patreon and for YouTube members, we're going to start doing bonus shows. I have the first 25 or so of Stuttering John's podcast saved, and we're going to go back and re-listen. Not re-listen. I never listened to it in the first place. We're going to go back and listen to the early Stuttering John episodes where Royce was his co-host. And it should be a lot of fun considering where we're at now in 2024. What was John talking about in 2016, 2017? Maybe it was 2018. Somewhere around there is when it started. He's a different guy, but he's not. He could actually form a sentence back then. Michael Rendan, $5. He did mention it saving the drowning friend and Howard in Pass. They stole a boat. He did mention it. Saving the drowning friend and Howard. Okay. All right. Someone's got to have audio of that. I wonder if Howard also was skeptical. Hardwalker, $2. We miss you on Mastodon. Play Vinny's Fat. I don't know if I'm taking requests for $2. All right, just for a minute.
Vinny, Vinny, Vinny.
That's not even the right Vinny song. This one.
Vinny's fat and round. He has to weigh at least 600 pounds. Vinny's fat.
Yeah, I know. I'm not on Mastodon anymore because I've been on Mastodon twice. Once I was on Dick's server, and then I was on the No Agenda server, and both of them went away. So I'm like, all right, I can't just keep chasing Mastodon servers. I don't have to tell you. The Ghetto Basement, $2. I smoked 2 of 3 joints, and it's one of the 2. LOL. I smoked 2 or 3 joints. It's one of the 2. Ward Rutherford, £2. Narcissist charity. Others give, they take credit. What is these fucking emojis that are happening on my screen right now? Yes, correct. When you're charitable, you just give. You don't need everyone patting you on the back. Nick Tucker, remember for 2 months, says, I saved one person from drowning last weekend. Not trying to brag, just saying I know the exact number. Unlike John and our fearless president, joking rules. All right, Nick. Well, congratulations, and thank you for saving people's lives. That's amazing. Gar Saxon, $2, says, I wish John sung Roadhouse Blues into a shotgun. Kyle Lakey. No one wants to go to Greenland here. And Kyle Lakey, $10. The height of stupidity. If all of John's strikes destroyed his enemies, he would no longer be interesting. You make him funny and fascinating. People give him money because of you. Correct, Kyle. In fact, he was overheard in Atlantic City saying the reason why he keeps talking about his family and his kids is because that's what's interesting. That's what gets him eyeballs. He uses that. He's using his family. He needs Shuli. He needs me. He needs the potato to keep talking to him, keeping him relevant. Ward Rutherford, £2, says, SJ looks like creepypasta Fred Flintstone. Yeah, someone did a great Photoshop of that I saw. Q Crew, $5. Love the show, Carl. But can you find a doctor with some charisma, please? Nope. I'm sorry. Dr. Steve's my boy. We're sticking with the no charisma Dr. Steve. Mark from Canada, $5. Carl, you and SJ have the same dynamic as Homer Simpson and Frank Grimes. He irritates you too much. I disagree. I'm not I'm not jealous of John in any way or upset that he's had success in life. Hayes for Horses, a.k.a. Judging John, looks like human hangover. Yeah. John is... I don't know how many people... If John wants to brag, what he should brag about is how many people are sober after watching what he's turned into from just drinking Coors Light every day. It's really bad for you, apparently. Nasty Al, $50. Nasty Al, thank you, buddy. I appreciate everything you do.
Yay, super chats.
Everything for the Dabbleverse and for this show. We're in an alternate reality from SJ. Our side is trashing, insulting him, and expecting him to change. On his side, he's screaming his credits and high IQ and expecting us to change. It's the Twilight Zone, FSJ, FKB. I agree with you 100%. They used to talk about this on the No Agenda show that I love to listen to, where it's the same screen, but 2 different movies. So we're all in a theater, and we're on the left side, they're on the right side, or vice versa, doesn't matter. And we're all watching the same program and seeing something completely different from it. And yes, John is in an alternate reality. He can't fathom. This is the thing. This is what makes this so fascinating. He can't even fathom that he's wrong about this and that he actually does suck at broadcasting. And the fact that he's drooling and there's snot coming out of his mouth is embarrassing. And he should be embarrassed by that. He can't even fathom that. He still thinks he's better at this than I am. It's crazy. Hayes for Horses, a.k.a. Judging John, $5. Carol, have your beautiful mom wife pay off your mortgage. Seems reasonable. The shit it is. The shit it is. J-Dog, new member. Thank you very much, J-Dog. Appreciate that. 2 bonus shows every month. You can watch WTP live. We do it on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And everyone who's a member, go to the community tab on YouTube. You get the link to all of our bonus stuff and our live stuff that's behind the paywall. Detroit Dabbler, $2. And yesterday, SJ said Mick was last state with Michigan was the last state with slaves. Yes, that was very funny. And he was like teaching you a lesson. And then it's like Mississippi was the answer or something like that. It's like, it wasn't Michigan, dummy. John's big Falcon tats, $5. It doesn't matter how good John thinks he is. He's a drunk driving piece of shit. Get your lawyer, John. I'm saying this is a statement of fact. I mean, he was definitely inebriated. We can all agree on that. We saw him on stage. We saw what he looked like. Count Connor, $2. Does John ever enter your dreams? Don't lie. No, I do have. I've had some stress dreams about podcasting, but it's usually revolves around the live show and the prep and making sure everything works. Do too much. I feel bad for Patrick Melton with Hackamania. The amount of work that he's doing to make sure it's happening. You could actually, he's going to put on sale. If you can't make it to Vegas, you can stream it. You can watch the whole show at Hackamania coming up May 31st through June 2nd. So the work that guy's doing, I bet he's woken up a couple times thinking about that. Cornball, $5 says, I know we are talking about Dummy, but genuinely want to know if there'll be an updated Steel Toe segment. Yes, I will be talking about Aaron in April in just a moment. Dead Juice, $2. Hashtag FSJ. Detroit Dabber, $2. SJ will take that video serious and love it. Yeah, he will actually. The Inside the Mind of a Narcissist. Tom R, $5. Great job, Mr. Hamburger. Sucho's tatas are huge and juicy. Like Rolling Stone, $2. More Vinny's fat. That's enough Vinny's fat. DPM, $5 says, what were the main takeaways from the stream that Hal Sparks and Kate Meany? It still kills me that isn't available. I know. What an amazing episode that was with Hal Sparks and Kate Meany. It's too bad John will never see it. Connor, Iced Up should cover Sucho's whole album, please. You know who tells me that too is Doug from the Jingles department. He says, Carl, we can do this. We can re-record the whole thing. Then you can play it wherever you want. You'll be able to play all this. I'm like, it's too much work. I don't want to do that. Plus that music sucks. Go to the Isotopes channel, by the way, on YouTube. I just posted, we did last weekend, we were on WAYO here in Rochester, a radio station. We did a whole hour-long concert live in studio. I posted a whole bunch of videos from that. So check that out. Troll Hunter, $2. Hey, Carla, you going to sell them shit it is shirts? Oh my gosh. Maybe I will. Shit it is. I was going to tell you something. I can't tease it yet. But let's just say DabbleCon 2, August 16th, 17th, Rochester. You're going to want to be here for that. And then, do you deliberately omit Earl from your scroll? No, not deliberately. I'm sorry. There's a lot of other things going on. I like Earl. Nothing personal to Earl for not having. Earl Skakel is going to be at the show. All right, let's get into this real quick. Kevin Brennan has turned his show into Stuttering John show. And he needs an Adam Hineker. He needs a producer. He needs co-hosts. He's drowning without these things. Kevin Brennan used to goof on people who did shows by themselves. He used to goof on people who did clip shows, who just watched videos and reacted to them. That's all he's doing now. So this is an example of MLC from yesterday and his tech issues.
It's just unbelievable how they couldn't make it more. Oh, wait. Now I did this wrong. It's always something. Problem with my show being popular is everyone gets mad when it runs not running. All
right, Kevin. You're still on. The show's still going, buddy. The only difference between him and Johnny, he doesn't do the He's just silent. He's just breathing heavy.
Someone does that, and instead of trying
Holy shit. Holy shit. So then he finally does bring up what he's trying to bring up. And look at this. This is Stuttering John's show. He has two subreddits that he goes to. They're the exact same two that John always goes to on his show when he doesn't know what else to do. Hackverse Anonymous and Shuli's Anonymous. Kevin is doing the exact same show as Stuttering John now. Just going to these subreddits, finding things that other people have posted, playing that, barely reacting to it. Kevin's not even good at reacting or adding anything to these video clips that he plays. Here's another example of these tech issues.
Just a taste.
His green screen looks so bad too. That shitty background, that AI background thing.
Wait a second.
What's going on, Kevin?
Am I the wrong thing again?
Oh, no.
God damn it!
No, that's too bad. It's almost like you should have
God,
prepped.
fucking, they really fucked this up.
It's almost like you should know how to use your equipment if you're going to run a show by yourself. Maybe be prepared for doing your show instead of just streaming nonstop all day, every day.
Wow.
All right, whenever you're ready, buddy. Take your time. No rush. Super chats will continue to come in. Just sit there and look at your screen. Try to figure it out.
What the fuck, man? Oh, here's another one.
He has no business doing a show by himself. This is a disaster.
To be on air. We can talk about anything on air, but there's certain things that have to be talked to. But I told him I'll save it.
All right.
Bob, send KB the link. No, I don't. Look, this stuff we got to talk about.
So he finally finds the video he was looking for all that time. And it's incredible to me. People are still watching this show. He's literally doing the Stuttering John and getting distracted by text messages.
How can I get, people are literally texting me while I'm doing the show. Somehow my phone, when I get a text on my phone, it goes to my computer and it pings. So I don't know. Again, I didn't set this up. How are they? I'm not even on my phone. This is on the MLC podcast channel.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with anything, Kevin. This is what's crazy to me. So guys like Kevin and Stuttering John, they can't figure out their equipment. They're constantly getting distracted. It's ruining their show. They can't figure it out. They don't know how to turn off notifications. You would think people would be smart enough to figure out, okay, what's the operating system I'm using? And then Google, turn off notifications, Windows 11. And see what comes up. Someone will probably show you how to turn off your notifications. Instead, these idiots just go, technology's hard. I don't get it. This is too hard. Well, then you need Adam back because this is embarrassing. Your show's terrible. How can I? Unbelievable. And then right after that, so he's watching this Bob Levy clip. And I know that KB and Dave Attell used to be friends. That's the thing with Kevin and a lot of comics from New York. They used to be friends. Kevin is doing a Dave Attell impression here. I don't know if he knows it or not.
Come on, use your head. Steel Toe, what's his name? Aaron and April.
So if you're not familiar with Dave Attell, here's a clip. This is spot on.
Threatening. What am I supposed to do? Walk around holding a balloon in a Hello Kitty lunchbox? I'm going on the fly.
If you don't know Skank for the Memories, check it out. It's the greatest stand-up album of all time. Fight me. Fight me if you think there's something better than Skanks for the Memories. So Kevin Brennan is completely lost it because now he's at the point where he can't do the show by himself. He can't run his show. He sits there and he watches Ray DeVito because My Lost Interest. If it weren't for My Lost Interest, I don't know what he would do. He needs the subreddit My Lost Interest to feed him all the clips. He watches them in real time. He hasn't prepared anything. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't respond well to things. So what does he do? He has to bring on co-hosts. And look who shows up.
Again, $45 away. Let's knock that out and let's do overtime. We've got 38 seconds left. Do you feel like throwing us a couple of...
Wow, this is incredible. Wow, this is incredible. And also, Chad, you made an offer. Where is that? Is that on My Lost Interest?
What offer?
The offer you made to his wife?
Yeah, it was off my podcast. I don't know who clipped it, but yeah,
that's My Lost Interest. Let me see if
Well,
he has it.
I hope it's on My Lost Interest, Kevin. That's the only way you're going to find it because you didn't prep anything. You're just hoping My Lost Interest has it. So Kevin realizes he needs someone, sends the link out. Chad Zumach shows up. Now, Chad used to be the third mic, and they used him as a punching bag. And all the super chats would talk about what a loser he is, and Kevin would read them and laugh. And now we're at a point where Chad is the co-host of the show. Kevin Brennan needs Chad Zumach to be entertaining on his show. He's not. Chad's not a funny guy. He's not an interesting guy. And one of the problems with Chad is his attitude. He doesn't understand how life works. So obviously he's very excited that Aaron Imholte from Steel Toe has announced that he's getting a divorce from April, who used to be on the show. And Chad is celebrating this.
I said from day one that his marriage will inevitably end because of his show. I said, just stop it. And here we are. I told you.
Wow, this is incredible.
I get the W. I'm the winner.
How are you the winner? How does this help your show? It doesn't, Aaron getting divorced doesn't make your show watchable. It's not going to add more viewers to your stream. It's not going to get more Patreon support. You're not going to have more people coming to see you headline in Florida. What do you mean? This is the problem with his whole mindset. This is why Chad is a loser, because he never thinks, oh, wait, I'm in control of my own destiny. I don't have to wait for other people to fail. I could just be good at what I do. No, Chad thinks I need Aaron Imholte to fail, and that's how I'll be successful. It's not. It's not going to help you in any single way. As Kevin Brennan once said, and I liked it so much I remembered it and repeated it, Chad Zumock is a pathological loser. He's a fucking loser. And now he's second mic on MLC. And trust me, it's going to his head. Chad thinks he's a superstar. He thinks it's the biggest show. I have twice as many viewers on this show right now that he usually has. Thank you all for hanging out with us today. And Chad thinks the MLC is the biggest show in the world. He thinks that he's winning because he's on MLC and Aaron's getting a divorce. You're not. You're a loser. You're still a loser. It's still the exact same thing it's been. You're bad at this. And this is the reason why he's on the show is because the dynamic Mike Buschetti couldn't make it on Monday. So we had to have Chad Zumock step in and save the day. Good stuff. I was watching Patrick Melton, and he found something very interesting that I want to share with all of you.
Chad Zumock, I mean, look at it, is sending out to bookers he doesn't know.
All right. So I have to read this for you because Chad sent a note to a booker that he wanted to get stand-up gigs from, and the booker posted it on social media because he thought it was so ridiculous. So Chad writes, let me get this straight. You book comedians in Florida and you've never booked me, all caps? What the fuck, all caps? I'm Florida's greatest comedian. I've got more credits than any of those hacks you book, and I was on the biggest radio show in Cleveland for years. A decade ago, Chad. You're still talking about your radio credits? No one who listens to the Alan Cox show is calling in and going, when's Chad coming back? No one cares. The biggest, it was an afternoon show. It can't be the biggest show in Cleveland. Just so you know how radio works, morning is prime time. You were on an afternoon drive show. You weren't the biggest, you were on the biggest show in Cleveland. Probably weren't even the biggest for that time slot. I know you had to come on my show to goof on the guy you were up against at the time. But this is what he's using as his credits. Like, this is why this guy has to book Chad, because he was on a radio show a decade ago. Over a decade ago. I opened for the biggest names in the industry. Godfrey, Florentine, Swartzen. The list goes on. But yeah, just keep booking those no names for all shows. I won't get into the list of comics that Chad thinks are the biggest names in the industry. That's not for me to determine. I've heard of some bigger... I mean, I didn't see any of those guys at the Tom Brady roast, I'm just saying. But okay, biggest names in the industry. Also, the whole idea that you open for them. No one knows openers. No one knows. Whenever I go see big comics that I really enjoy that are playing at theaters and stuff, you never know the opener. You never heard of them before. It's funny how that works. So this guy, Jesse Ever, who he's reaching out to, decides to post that. And he writes, this is absolutely how to not ever get booked by me or any of the companies that I book for. This email wasn't even sent to me. Dude, we haven't connected with every single comedian in the world. If you're actually good, send us your shit and ask for a booking. Don't expect us to find you. And I'm pretty sure the shows he's referring to pay maybe $150 to $200 to headline. If you're a huge deal, why would you go out of your way to find info for companies that haven't booked you and bitch like this about not getting hired for shit like that you're not desperate for work. Let me read that again. What is he saying? What's that, Robin? What did he say, Robin? Why would you go out of your way to find info for companies that haven't booked you and bitch like this about not getting hired for shit like that if you're not desperate for work? Fucking weirdos. I also like to capitalize Florida's greatest comedian. It's a title of honor, apparently. He hasn't been eaten by them gators yet. All right, well, Jesse's not the best either, but this is the reason why Chad's a loser. This is his mindset, to reach out to people who book comedy shows. And Chad wants to play more comedy shows. I guarantee you that. That's been coming up. So his mindset is to be like, what the fuck? You guys are nuts for not booking me. Are we? We're doing fine. The world does fine without Chad Zumock. So anyway, that's what's going on. It's been a while since we've talked about Chad or even Kevin for that matter. Over 2,000 in here. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to talk about Aaron and April. I'll give you my take on that in just a moment. Let me just get caught up real quick with the $4.95 Marauder $2. I look at Aaron and you can tell April's vag was neglected. Yeah, that's a good theory. Gobble's Monster Puppet, member for 3 months, says KB looks more like Cardiff than Cardiff does. Wow. I would say he looks more like Radish Diff. Shmuel Buckman, $2. Is DabbleCon 2 on and when? Yes, August 16th and 17th at Comedy at the Carlson here in Rochester. We will have more info. We have a meeting this week. We're going to get that figured out. But let me just tell you, I talked to Shuli about it today, and we have some really good ideas. Buy Anal Ham Sandwich, $2 super sticker. Thank you very much. Tom R, $2. MLC died after Bob left, and he effed Bob out of his money. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing that doesn't get talked about enough. The fact that he owed Bob for the money he made the month prior, and because he decided to fire him, he never gave him the money. I don't care if it's $50. I mean, it's thousands of dollars, but I don't care if it's $50. It's just a dick move. Kevin knows. Whatever. Dabbleversity, $10 says, new Dabble Clipper, worked for Opie for over a year. Now I clip and make random content related to the Dabbleverse. This is a great creative community. Wow. Dabbleversity, we need to connect. I want to know what kind of work you were doing with the Opster over the years, but welcome to the Dabbleverse. We love all of the creators in here. We appreciate all of you. L Molder 1, member for 10 months, says, even with a tuner, he didn't know which way to turn the tuning pegs, if it was sharp or flat. No shit. That's what I mean. A child could sit there and just like turn shit until the thing lines up. That's all he was doing. And that was to prove he knows how to tune a guitar. That guitar is a piece of shit. Those strings have been on there for 10 years. He needs to do a lot. If you're going to, listen, I'm not saying you have to have the world's greatest guitar. I happen to have a Martin right here that I'm using. But you have to have the world's greatest guitar. But if you're going to use it on your show, put some strings on it. Make it sound good. Do something. The $4.95 Marauder, $2. Chad looks like baloney with a hat and white socks. It's not great. Tom R, $2. Wow. Chad is Stucho, vindictive narcissist. Correct. Yes, vindictive. Very much so. It's crazy to me, the similarities between these people that we pick up on. It's not a coincidence that the people that we find to point and laugh at have a lot of similar traits. Eddie Valentino, $5. Make sure you make your wives or girlfriends come or you'll end up like Aaron. And Shitterson. This is Pollution Late 7425. Thanks for the praise. More to come. Dude, thank you. I'm always blown away by what you guys create and put up on YouTube and the subreddit and Twitter. It's fantastic. Hey, my boy Soft Weekly's here. $5. I took a victory lap only because Aaron and Ape said they would be holding hands when I drew my last breath. # winning. All right. Well, congrats on that, Soft Weekly. You definitely, well, I don't know if you won that argument. I'm not as convinced as everyone else is. Ron Brown, $5. Zumock was trolling that booker. He said it 3 weeks ago in his show because the booker is a douche to comics. Of course, you and Melton took the bait. Well, either way, this guy's putting that out there. See, this is the problem with Chad. He thinks that trolling people is good for his career. It's not. So I understand that Chad doesn't think he was going to get put on a bunch of amazing shows after he sent that email. And it wasn't even to that booker. The guy just shared it. But that's the thing, is that booker shared it with the other booker that shares it with other guys who book for comedy. And they go, I don't want to work with this guy. This guy's a piece of shit. And you could say that the guy's a douche to comics. I've been in music most of my life, and people book shows at various venues, and some of them I don't get along with, and some of them are cool. And fuck, it comes down to sound guys. There's some sound guys I can't stand. Some of them are cool. You don't go around talking shit. They're all in the same circle. They all talk to each other, and you'll quickly get really bad sound or not booked when you go around talking shit to these people. It's a bad strategy. It's a bad mindset. Chad's a fucking dumb idiot. All right, let's get into this. I want to thank Doom. I don't know if Doom's still here, but I want to thank Doom. This is from his channel. He's the one who put this together for us. So Aaron Imholte from Steel Toe came on his show, I believe yesterday, and said, guys, I'm going to get out in front of this. April and I are getting a divorce. The paperwork's going to come out eventually. Someone's going to find it. So I might as well just tell you now, we're getting a divorce. And yesterday or today, he elaborated on it. And this is where I think people might be taking the bait. People might be falling for a bit of work. I think this might be a work. It should be a work. If it's not a work, shame on Aaron Imholte, and we'll explain why. But this is what this reminds me of. So Chad Zumock and Patrick Melton want this to happen so bad. And it's very similar to when Kevin Brennan and Stuttering John wanted Bob Levy to leave Shuli's channel. And so as soon as Bob Levy put out a thing like, yeah, they don't treat me right, I don't need this, I can do my own thing, they both jumped on it like, oh, I knew it. They're reaching out to Bob. Come on my show. I'll pay you money. Come on my show. I knew it. Like they took the bait. It was so easy because they're too invested. And this is what I told Patrick when I called today. I go, I think you're too close. I think you're too invested. I think you might have fallen for a bit. This might be a work. And I'll explain why. But let's see what Aaron is saying about April and the divorce here.
Chad Zumock.
That's not the right link. That's not the right link at all. But I do have the right link. It's always good to have Patrick yelling Chad Zumock one more time, though.
And then towards the end, again, talking about this is just talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end, I did a lot of things I am not necessarily proud of.
Oh.
I did things I'm not necessarily, as a father of three, probably not good stuff.
All right, so it's all very vague, and this is purposely vague, because Aaron knows he's getting all the eyeballs now. He's getting all the attention, and this is why I think it's a work. And again, I'm not friends with Aaron. I've never hung out with the guy. We've traded text messages. He was on my show. I was on his show. We're not friends. I'm friends with Gino Bisconti. I'm not friends with Aaron. I've hung out with Gino. I don't know Aaron. I hope that this is a work, that he's doing this to get over on people, and April shows up next week and they have a big laugh at everyone's expense. Because if it's not, Aaron is so far fucking gone. He has such a crazy personality disorder. If this is not a work, I don't know what to tell him.
Irresponsible things that a 37-year-old man with 3 children shouldn't do.
All right, so what is he hinting at here? He's hinting at, I would say, drug use. And I'll tell you why, because we're going to get into more of that in a moment where he talks about what he was doing that was irresponsible. But he's not saying it. He's not coming out and saying it. And there's a lot of speculation on a lot of different things. But I'm going to go ahead and speculate. He's saying, listen, I'm a 37-year-old man. I have responsibilities in life. I have 3 children. I should not be going on benders. That's how I'm interpreting this. All right. Drinking, drug use, something like that. Irresponsible behavior.
And the one thing I'm ashamed of that. I'm ashamed that I did things a 37-year-old father of 3 shouldn't do. However, I am very happy that I am not doing those things.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, sounds a lot like drug use, drinking. I was doing some shit I should have been doing. Now I'm not. I quit. I stopped doing that. Okay, very good. And I'll explain why this seems crazy to me that he would do this if they were actually getting a divorce. Because this is going to be slandering April's name big time here. And he's pretending he's just talking about himself, but he's not.
I'm very happy that there was a crossroads in my life where I could have kept doing those things, or I could have And I did choose, when things got really crazy and really hectic, to stop doing those things. Something I'm remarkably happy that
he says remarkable a lot.
I did.
Who's ever remarkably happy? I was remarkably happy. I was in a good mood remarkably about that. These words don't even make sense together.
However, I had to make that decision by myself. And that fucking eats a dick.
Okay. So let's interpret this. And I'm just interpreting what Aaron's putting out there because obviously he's being vague. Could mean a lot of different things. He's saying, I started doing something that was irresponsible. I would speculate coke, meth, booze, all three, 2 out of the 3, something like that. And he realizes that, oh, this is not the right way to go. I have a family. I got to keep this shit together. I'm sure his ex-wife is probably paying attention to this kind of thing because he has whatever custody. I don't know any of that stuff, so whatever. But he has responsibilities. So he says, I could have kept doing that and things would have gotten worse. And I decided to stop doing those things. Okay, but this is about you and April getting a divorce. So why are you bringing that up?
That really does suck. I am not sitting here tonight. Do not look at me as some victim good guy who got fucked over or anything. No, absolutely not.
Who even brought that? Did anyone suggest that? Is someone in his chat claiming he's a victim of something? Where did that come from? Hey guys, listen. I am not the greatest podcaster of all time. I know. Listen, I know you could say better than Rogan. You could say that. I'm not. I'm not Bobby Lee. Okay? Keep saying it, but it's not true. What the fuck's he talking about?
I have my share of shit that I need to shovel. Again, I did things that as a father of 3 should not do.
Jesus. I mean, he keeps repeating this over and over again. This is why, this isn't smoking weed after you put the kids to bed. You know what I mean? The way he's talking about this is like, oh, this was a meth bender weekend is what you're talking about. Okay.
And I can use later in life as a lesson to my children of how not to behave, of how not to do things.
Listen, if you're going to have kids, can't do meth. Pick one or the other. All right, kids, that's my lesson to you.
So, again, just owning my stuff. There's a lot of stuff I wouldn't do if I could do it over again.
Yeah, we get it. You have regrets. You made bad decisions. You stopped doing that. Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Barely.
You got to be my co-host on this one.
No, it does. The whole working together. Nah.
What does that mean? You got to be my co-host on this one. Like, can you say something, please? I don't know why I'm paying you to sit next to me. It's not because you're good looking. That's why I paid the other person to sit next to me, not you.
Oh, I don't know if I could be with any one person. Like all day, every day, I just need space.
Yeah.
You need a little time alone. You need time just...
You're adding nothing. Okay, Aaron shouldn't have put his wife on his show with him. Everyone agrees with that. That's not what he's talking about right now. He just said he was doing something that was terribly irresponsible for a man who's married and has children. And this guy goes, yeah, man, I know. Being around your wife all the time probably got annoying.
I don't know, fucking decompress sometimes, but when...
Right. And by the way, I'm sure that cuts both ways. Driveway Junkie says, just one divorce for me. That one put me through enough. I don't wish that on anyone. Yeah, I was fucking, though, when my...
All right. Then he starts bragging about his first divorce. He was banging April, so it wasn't so bad. Let's get into this, though, because this is where he definitely gives us some clues.
Hired.
Okay, let me back it up just a little bit.
The audience knew that I wasn't right.
Oh, yeah.
The audience knew that I was tired. The audience knew that I was drinking 2 Celsius a show just to get through it. Aaron wasn't sleeping enough sometimes. Look, it's,
Tell me you're doing coke a lot without telling me you're doing coke a lot. I wasn't sleeping. I was tired. Everyone could tell I was tired. I was drinking caffeinated beverages to get through the shows. Okay. So you and April were getting into coke a lot. Is that what you're telling us right now? Because he keeps saying that he's decided to stop, and unfortunately, not everyone decided to stop.
Oh, rumors get started for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason rumors get started is because you behave a certain way, and I was behaving a certain way, and it lent itself to rumors. People are allowed to do that. Will Heron says, hi, Aaron. Hi, rest of the people here for the train wreck. You know what? I'm sorry.
Hi, Will Heron. I like that guy.
Sorry if you were here for the train wreck. I don't think it's there. I don't think the train wreck is there because I'm not ashamed of anything.
What?
You know?
What?
I'm not, no.
This guy is the king of saying the opposite. He'll be like, guys, I made some mistakes. I was irresponsible. People like in my position shouldn't behave like that. Do you have any regrets? No. What?
That might be the wrong.
Not ashamed. It's like I'm not hiding from anything.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. You're not explaining anything.
You know, ashamed. Yes, I've done things I'm ashamed of.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Figured that out.
Things that I've had to come clean to people about.
But you're not ashamed to be sitting in that chair.
I'm not ashamed to be sitting here telling you guys because I think it can be helpful. I do. Let's see. I want to keep going in the chat here.
Oh, the
I just, again, I only want to talk about me and my wrongdoing. I'm certainly not going to talk about what I did right. I mean, other than the not doing those things anymore, like coming to a crossroads and, going, look, you got 3 kids. You can't fucking do this shit. What are you doing? Yeah. That will be the only good thing I say about myself.
So this is a man who says he's getting divorced, and he claims the reason why is because he decided to stop doing irresponsible stuff. So let's just all assume he's talking about meth or coke or something. So what he is saying here, and it's very clear to anyone who's listening to this, is that April is still into meth or coke. He needed to stop. April didn't want to. So this is what I'm saying. If this isn't a work, I still think that this is a work. This is nuts. No one would behave like this. No one would talk like this, especially a guy like Aaron Imholte, unless he's an idiot. Unless he's as dumb as Stuttering John and has the same narcissistic personality disorder as John. No one would do this because you're literally going out there and saying, my ex-wife, who I'm currently getting a divorce from, is a meth head, which would be very detrimental to that person. If you still cared about them at all, you wouldn't want to put that out in the world. You'd want to get them help or something. You wouldn't want to put that out there. But I just can't believe April was on the show a month and a half ago. She was still the co-host. And now they're getting a divorce 6 weeks later. I don't believe that. I think this is a work. This would be happening way too fast. I think that they saw an opportunity. Hear me out. And people are going to say I'm crazy on this one. Hear me out on this one. So Aaron and April did have to get off the show. I believe that was real. It did happen on April 1st. Little suspicious, whatever. I do think that it got to her and she needed to get off the show. And Aaron's been teasing all this, and he wouldn't. All right, it's elaborate. Bear with me. So Aaron's been teasing all this stuff. He's going out all the time, watching the game with his buddies, karaoke, all this stuff the single guys do, losing weight. And then the speculation starts. Oh, he's single. April's out. So then he goes, all right, guys, you got me. I got to confess. April left. So he's been building to this moment. And now he's got Chad doing his victory lap and taking the W. Patrick Melton's devoted his entire show to these clips every day. And everyone's talking about this, getting all these eyeballs on Aaron Imholte and Steel Toe. And it looks like he's disheveled. The set looks terrible. Everything he's done to change the show is changing it for the worse. So all of this stuff, if I'm wrong, Aaron's a piece of shit. If I'm wrong, Aaron, you're a fucking loser. If I'm wrong about this, tell me this is a work. It has to be a work. There's no other way around it. You can't be this naive to think that you could go on, call your ex a meth head on your show, and then just be like, all right, so we got to hit the goal today. We got to hit the goal now, guys, right? If all of this is true, then you're a fucking liar, and there's no reason to ever watch your show. This can't be true. This can't be what's going on in your life. Please tell me it's not.
You're a devil boy bad, Aaron says not sure. Inoffensive Disc says you're only human. You're goddamn right.
This fucking thing where he just reads chats. the entire time? I don't think these are super chats. I think he just has nothing else to talk about. You have a co-host there. Talk to him. You tried. I know. It didn't work.
How would Aaron Imholte define crazy and hectic circumstances specifically, says Sean. There's a reason I didn't get specific with you. All right? There's a reason I didn't get specific with you.
So that everyone could speculate and we could build this thing up. And who knows, maybe it's going to go on for a week or a few more days. But I think April's going to show up on the show and they're going to go, ha-ha, gotcha. Gotcha.
Long line of nothing burgers.
Yeah.
Rads of Chaz with $5 says, are we going to have another number one party at Raleigh's again, considering you're single again? Thank you. Jason Bain says, did Aaron leave his pregnant first wife for April? Guys, we have told this story so many times on this show.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't listen to your show, Aaron, so they don't know. That's a dumb thing, too. How do you not know about this? Well, because there's 200 people watching your show. What do you mean? Most people in the world have no idea. Most people in Minnesota have no idea what the fuck happened with you. They have no idea what's going on. Anyway, am I crazy? I got to go back to the chat. I got to see. Oh, and note to Patrick Melton, if he's watching, never stop doing the secret word bit. It's fantastic. Do not retire that. I believe El Hariplayer retired it because you do it, so don't worry about that. But am I crazy right now? Aaron's obviously alluding to the fact that they had a drug problem. They were doing shit they shouldn't have been doing. And he made the decision to stop doing that, and she didn't. That's the only way you can interpret what he said. Tell me if I'm nuts. I'm going to go back to the chat here and see what you guys are saying. Rockstar81, $5 says, can you rag on KB about his equipment when you can't figure out why you keep getting emojis on your screen? Just ball busting. Keep up the good work. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Gaseous, $2 says, that reality show needs to replace SJ. It kind of is. I have a clip that I want to play before we leave today. Addicted to the super chats. Good act, $2. Point of order, Bob quit. Should have waited for money. Clyde, $5 says, I want to see SJ hooked to a polygraph for DabbleCon 2 more than I want air. He must have a price. I know it won't happen, but I can dream. John being discovered for the fraud that he is his biggest nightmare in the world. I don't think there is a price. I don't think there's a price on that. Koof! $5. Thank you for not killing yourselves. Suck that YouTube forces you guys to censor these messages. No, we don't have to censor these messages. I thank you for not killing yourself, Koof. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Matthew Rowley, $5 says, I'm only here to catch Carl doing one of his fantastic reads that have been popping up recently on the WATP clips. How can one person be this talented? You motherfucker. You think I can't read sarcasm? I can. Miss Charlie Loves, $2 says, thanks for inviting Juju, the cow, and Vito Pedo Kiwi Farms. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Not everyone's a fan of Dick and Vito. Who knew? OJ the Water Bearer, $2. Locale equals narcissist failure. Tell me I'm wrong. It really does. There's similar traits to the locales that really catch on. Is they never learn from their mistakes. They're giant narcissists. And stop it with that fucking thing. I'm not doing that thumbs up. God damn it. I got to start counting differently. They never learn from their mistakes. They're giant narcissists and they beg for fucking money too much. Too much e-begging. John's Elaborate Party, gifted 5. Who are these podcast memberships? Thank you very much, John's Elaborate Party, that Susanna would bitch about. That's the other thing with this party. Bragging about spending $500 on 100 people. It's unreal what this guy talks about. But I used to throw these parties back in my mansion. We'd spend $5,000. Susanna would get mad. But I needed to have the best party. Hackleboro, $2. Aaron is only 37. Yikes. Has the aged abuser look. Well, I believe this is an important thing to remember.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I'm kidding. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm kidding. I find Aaron more off-putting than John. I don't know. John looks terrible. A Geezer, $5 says, if Johnny Crutch's crying was part of this work, Aaron wins the prize and should result in no more work attempts from anyone. It wasn't. Johnny Crutch's crying had nothing to do with any of this. Johnny is broken. He's a broken guy who broke down on the show, and I still think that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Cardiff Electric 279. Lady K abusing emergency. I thought SJ snotted. You're right. Usually we only do this when John's drooling or snotting. My bad, Cardiff. Miss Charlie Loves Juju Pod Awful's Patreon. Kiwi Farms is watching. Thank you very much, Miss Charlie Loves. Dollar Cost Backpacker, $2. He is vague to avoid implicating Ricada. Yeah, I haven't brought up Nicky Rackets and his role in all of this because I don't know what that is. A lot of speculation. They spent a lot of time over at Nick Ricada's house, and the couples were getting together and partying and stuff. I don't know. I've hung out with Nick Ricada a few times, and dude seems to have his shit together from when I've hung out with them, more so than I do. But I don't know. I don't follow that stuff. Ozone, $5. Was it only loyalty to Gino that made you lay off him for so long? This guy is SJ on steroids. Can't believe you're only seeing this now. No, and thank you for bringing that up because I do want to explain. Oh, okay, hold on. Before I'll get right back to you, Ozone. But NLO is here. It says, he ain't smart enough for this to be a work. You might be right. I told you when I called into your show today. I go, you know Aaron and April way better than I do. I don't study these guys. I don't watch their show. I don't know what's going on. You would know it better than I do. I think that they saw an opportunity. They're like, oh my gosh, they want this to be the case so badly. We'll get them all to fall for this. I think you might have flown too close to the fire, my friend. But hey, if I'm wrong, Aaron's a giant piece of shit. He's the narcissistic personality disorder is through the roof if I'm wrong about this. And this is all real. And this is how Aaron is handling it because it's unbelievable. So let me explain because people are saying like, oh, Carl always defended Aaron Imholte. And now I saw Chad saying I was doing a pile-on and stuff. No. The reason why we didn't get Aaron and Steel Toe into any type of rotation on the show is because of the toxicity with the Steel Toe haters. I saw the Steel Toe Boring Show compared to Dabblers Anonymous. I mean, it's similar to Shuli's Anonymous. Like, it's not fun. People aren't creating it and having fun with it. They just really dislike and hate. It's not a roast. So I didn't find that to be a good avenue for us to get all these people on board who are just toxic and just want to hate someone that they've never met before, who they could easily avoid in life if they wanted to. Mike Cuts, $2. Thank you, Carl. It's about time you shit on this guy. Listen, I'm not even shitting on him. I'm just saying this better be a work. Shmuel Buckman, $2 says, even as a work, this is nasty shit. It's real. But, okay, you say that. Let's say April is by his side Monday morning or Friday or something like that. And they go, ta-da, the aristocrats. No, they go, yeah, no, we made all of this shit up. There's never been any problems. April's working this other job now. She's doing great. Like, I think that there'd be a lot of people going humana, and have a hard time dealing with that. And so if this is a work, they're doing it brilliantly is my point. If this is a work. If it's not, Aaron's a piece of shit. The Bad Luck Boys, R.I.P. Steel Toe. Peter Potamus, $5. Did I get that thing I sent you? Yes. It's sitting right next to me. I got it. It's for Lucy, I believe. I got to get it to Lucy. The $4.95 Marauder, $2. Visiting a Minnesota park and a ride is my conclusion. Steve Plum, member for 1 month. Hey, Carl, love all your shows. Thank you very much, Steve Plum. I appreciate that. Andre Gunner, for some weird amount of money. If you were like Aaron, how do you not know where Good Night Every Pony comes from, guys? We've been over this. Do you not watch the show, guys? Yeah, no shit. I always end the show with Good Night Every Pony, and it's because in like episode 7 or something of WATP, we're going back 8 years, we watched this stupid brony show where the guy ended it with Good Night Every Pony. I'm like, that's a funny sign-off. That's what I'm going to do now. I would never argue with someone for not knowing that. We had 50 listeners back then. Hulkamania gifted 10 Who Are These Podcasts memberships, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Hulkamania. I don't know who you are, but since you've come into my life, you've made it better, my friend. The Stickler of Shitholes, $2. Menta told me it's narcissist. Learn how to pronounce. Yes. You're being a narcissist. Papa Carlton, $5. Agree. Thought it was a work from the jump. When he claimed he was a narcissist, then went to a therapy and find out he wasn't. If not a work, that's psycho. Yes, correct. That's what I thought too. I'm like, oh, hold on a second. This is not normal behavior for anyone to say, this is all my fault. I'm a narcissist. I got to do better. I got to do better with myself. And then a week later be like, it turns out I was wrong. I'm actually perfect. That's part of the work. It has to be. Hulkamania, another 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Bully coming in with 201. Carl is saying VTL is a spectrum disorder. I was implying it. Carl's Frosted Tips, $2. John is sending you a cease and desist. Watch your back. Oh, I've gotten a cease and desist from John before. It was very fun. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Hellraiser 69, $10. It takes skill to make an irrelevant guy interesting to watch. You and Shuli are doing an amazing job. I never knew I would get this knee deep into the Dabbleverse. See you guys in August. Skål! Skål Hellraiser 69. This is the thing about the Dabbleverse. I think it's different than a lot of these other communities that crop up around a lol cow. And a lot of them have similarities. I've been getting into a little bit with King Copra and WATS and some of these other guys. There's something about the Dabbleverse specifically where things have not gotten toxic. Everyone is still in it for fun and having fun. And people aren't trying to like ruin John's life or something. We're just pointing and laughing because it's fun. Dollar cost backpacker, $2. April recently got her 5th DUI. This is real. Do you know that for a fact? I don't know about that. If that's true, that's not good. Colin, it's hard to get 5 DUIs, especially at her age. All right. Colin Madden, $2. You and Patrick should bet. Loser leaves the internet. Oh, I'm not doing that. I don't know enough about it. I'm just saying this has to be a work. From my perspective, and I'm listening to the clips today as Patrick's going over it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this just feels like Bob Levy getting Kevin Brennan and Stuttering John to fall for it. It just seems like that all over again to me. Hazard Forward, $50. Thank you, Hazard Forward. Regarding earlier convo, Stuttering Sex Pest has been amazing listening. No doubt Stutjo is dealing with diminished mental capacity. Oh yeah, it's very different. Go back to, like I said, you can find it on Stuttering Sex Pest. You can go back to WATP episode 109, I think was our first episode about Stuttering John in 2018. And he sounds completely different. The guy has drank himself into a stupor. You got to be kidding me. Hulkamania gifting another 10 memberships. Guys, turn on gifted memberships if you haven't. There's still 2,000 people in here. We appreciate that. And we appreciate Hulkamania. Okay, I promise this. I will deliver. Doug from the Jingles department sent me this clip today. If you don't know that reality show, you need to know. This is Helga Man and Lisa Boswell. And Lisa has the world's best comedic timing. I don't think she knows that, but she's learning about it. We've definitely been popping her up lately. And this is another great example.
And over there, it's not even a racial thing. These people are relatives. The Bible has the genealogy of that entire group of people.
You know what I really want today, Helga? Some pound cake. Some pound cake.
You want a pound cake?
No, just a piece of it.
A piece of pound cake.
Yeah.
Which means I'm going to have to go to the grocery store and get you some pound cake while I'm out.
Well, I submit that you eat pound cake.
Now, first off, great work, ladies. Fantastic job. But what Doug pointed out to me, and the reason why he thinks it's the greatest clip he's ever seen on the internet, is because you got to look at Lisa's face. Now, if you don't know about this show, Lisa is staring at herself in the monitor all episode long. So Helga's going on and on about nonsense, and Lisa's staring at herself. And so you see her looking at herself. And what I want you to watch for is all of a sudden she's overtaken with happiness and joy. You see that she just gets this big smile on her face out of nowhere. Has nothing to do with what Helga is saying.
Racial thing. These people are relatives. The Bible has the
see that smile right there? She just thought a thought in her head that made her very happy. Watch this again.
The Bible has the genealogy of that entire group of people.
Now her eyebrows are up. She has never been happier in her life right here.
You know what I really want today, Helga? Some pound cake.
Like literally in her brain, as Helga's talking about whatever nonsense, she's going, you know, it'd be really good at some pound cake. She's like, you know what? You know what would be really good today? Some pound cake. I like pound cake. And I like pizza.
Some pound cake.
You want a pound cake?
I like pizza.
No, just a piece of it.
A piece of pound cake.
Yeah.
Which means I'm going to have to go to the grocery store and get you some pound cake. while I'm out.
Yeah,
well,
get to
I
it.
submit then you eat pound cake.
Stu. Oh, why do I love them so much? I'm not alone, thank God. But so many catchphrases out of Lisa Boswell. I can't even keep up. Guys, I'm going to read through some super chats. Tomorrow's WATP is featuring Ray DeVito. And so tune in for that. We'll be live at 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you're behind the paywall, Patreon, Supercast, or YouTube, you'll get a link to that and you can watch it. Otherwise, you can always listen for free the next day. We put out WATP, the audio podcast, full-length audio podcast episodes every Thursday and Sunday morning. Dave Sarah, Film John. John makes sure I don't get a job even. Yeah, that's how John operates. He's got to email Adam Carolla to make sure Dave Sarah doesn't get a job. God, I would love for you to get that job at Adam Carolla's show and just send John a selfie every day of you working with Adam Carolla. Dime card, $2. Aaron is a piece of shit. Ketchup, not a work. Okay. Guys, if I'm totally off on this and Aaron really is this big of a piece of shit, then I will certainly admit to that and I'll try to make up for lost time. Let's put it that way. Bill Collins, $5. His show is so bad it has to be a work. And he'll milk it to reach his stupid goals. When the cash dries up, then the big reveal. Bill, I agree with you. He's never gotten more eyeballs on him. And I think Aaron's calculated. I've talked to him before. I think he's a calculated guy. I don't think he's just doing shit to see what happens. I think he's got a plan in place. I mean, he's got a fucking goal every goddamn day. I told him not to do that when I talked to him, but he's got a plan in place. And I truly believe that this has to be a work. It's the only way he could save face. It's the only way. Otherwise, if he had April on his show 6 weeks ago, and now they're getting a divorce and he's calling her a drug addict, then he's a piece of shit. And I don't even get me started. I'm not even going into the deep dive of all the things Aaron said about April and how amazing she is and how perfect they are together and how that could deteriorate in such a quick time doesn't make any sense to me at all. But I mean, you can't believe anything he says. If this isn't a work, there's no reason to watch this guy show. This is why I stopped watching Chad and commenting on Chad. It's like, well, everything he says is a lie. Who cares? Who cares what he says? None of it means anything. Hulkamania gets at 5. Who are these podcast memberships? Do I have a jingle for you, Hulkamania? Because I really need one. If I don't, I got to get on that. You need your own personalized jingle, my friend. You are killing it. Thank you very much. All right. I think that's going to do it for Who Are These Podcasts. Thanks for tuning in to a special emergency minisode with me today. I do appreciate that. We'll be back again tomorrow. Of course, we got Hackamania coming up. Come see us in Vegas, hackamania.com. WATP for 20% off your tickets. May 31st through June 2nd, we'll be doing a live show. And actually, the Creep Off's doing a live show. We'll be doing that with Vinnie Paulino. We'll be doing the show with Who Are These Podcasts. Tukey Soup is there, NLO. Whole bunch of shows, Ray DeVito. Pat Dixon's going to be out there. So definitely tune in for that. My buddy Brian Johnson's going to be there. And Mary Beth. So definitely looking forward to that. My brother's doing stand-up comedy for the first time ever. So you're not going to want to miss that one. Please join us again next time. It might be the episode we find out once for all. Who are these podcasts? Sleep well, every pony.
Farting in the mosh pits of morning radio.
Okay. Great show. Good job, everybody.
Great job, everyone.
Shut the fuck up, asswipe, and suck my cock. Bullshit! You fucking know all about this shit!
No one told me there was gonna be boasting.
Fucking thing sucks!
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Who fucking cares?
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
This is going great.
Who are these?
Podcasts. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Makes no sense.